BTS News Today.it was not an ordinary day. The sun was still shyly showing its rays as hundreds of people from different parts of the world began to crowd the small street leading to the gates of the military headquarters where the BTS members were performing their state duties. The morning air was still cold, but the passion and love that flowed through the crowd made the atmosphere feel warm and touching. From South Korea to Argentina, from Japan to Egypt, from Italy to Indonesia, they all came with one message: "We love you, BTS." This incredible sight began the night before. Army from all over the world came to the location with colorful banners bearing the words full of emotion and love. Some of them read, "Forever with BTS, we wait for you," and "Military service doesn't change love." Others hung their country's flag as a sign that BTS doesn't just belong to Korea, but belongs to the world. That night, the fans gathered in small circles. They shared stories of how BTS has changed their lives. Some claim to be cured of depression by listening to their songs. Some rediscover hope in life after watching inspirational videos from RM or listening to the gentle voice of the genie. Some fans from Canada cried while holding the album Love Yourself. Answer, saying that they survived the darkest days because of the heartfelt lyrics. That night, the military headquarters seemed to turn into a global emotional healing center. At 6 a.m., the sky began to acquire a light blue tint. Sobs began to be heard as the main gate slowly opened. Not because someone came out, but because the military presence guarding the location became more and more pronounced. However, there is no tension. There is only deep sorrow. Among the crowd, a young girl from the Philippines hugged her mother and said, "This is our way of showing love to them." Beside him, a man in his 40s from England brought a face painting of Jungkook that he made himself as a form of tribute to an idol whom he admired not only for his golden voice, but also for his hard work and sincerity. One of the most moving moments was when a Brazilian army man stood in the crowd and began to sing Spring Day. Without warning, the entire army sang along, in a low but soulful voice. Tears flowed, hugs were given, and the world seemed to stop for a moment. No language can separate them. No cultural differences can get in the way of this feeling. They are all tied by one red thread: love for BTS. Local and international media began to arrive. The cameras recorded this unusual scene. A journalist from France looked stunned at how much impact BTS had on their fans. "I have never seen such deep love for an artist, let alone for a group of young men who today do not even appear in public. This is not just a fan. It's a global movement," he said. What made the atmosphere even more touching was the appearance of several families from the local army who also came to support their children. A Busan mother hugged her 14-year-old daughter and whispered, "I understand now why you love them." The sound of their cries merges with other cries, creating a symphony of emotions that are difficult to describe in words. From behind the fence, not a single BTS member was visible, but the army knew they were listening. A few minutes later, a military officer came out with the news that the members were very touched by the presence of the fans and thanked them through a small note they left. The notes were written in different languages. At the end it says, "We will return. Stronger, happier. Thanks for waiting." The atmosphere was broken by sobs and applause. Army hugged each other, some on their knees crying because they felt recognized by their loved ones. Not a few who captured the record and spread it on social media. Within hours, the hashtags #ARMY@MilitaryGate and #LoveForBTS were trending globally. On Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Weverse, soldiers who couldn't attend in person conveyed their love through videos, poems, songs, and heartfelt messages. Those who were at the location also took the time to broadcast live so that other fans in other parts of the world also felt the warmth that was created, not only in terms of emotion, The day also recorded an event that may be remembered throughout the history of world pop culture. A moment when the boundaries between idols and fans are no longer felt. When respect and love are no longer one way, but become a sincere and pure mutual relationship. And even though the BTS members aren't physically present in their midst, the love feels more real than ever. In the midst of an atmosphere full of emotion, an Italian army read a poem he wrote himself. The content is simple but touching. You didn't see us today, but we always see you. From a distance, from the screen, from our hearts that we're waiting. We believe. We're here. The poem was greeted with applause and warm hugs. No one feels alien. They all belong to one big family called the Army. It was getting late, but no one was leaving. Some of the army began to sing BTS songs in turn, from Dynamite to Yet to Come. Some are dancing, some are spreading new banners, some are just sitting quietly looking at the gate. The gate that day became not only a military place, but also a symbol of love, patience, and faith. In one corner, some soldiers from Thailand distributed free food. On the other hand, a group of army from Egypt and India distributed stickers and love letters that they printed themselves. Some even do small projects in the form of making time capsules that they will bury with letters to BTS, and they will reopen when BTS returns from military service. Not to forget, the Korean Army community also supports by providing medical tents, drinking water, and emergency supplies. Everything is done voluntarily. There is no formal governing organization. Everything moves based on love. All in one. When the sun began to lean to the west, the military gates were again closed. The army knew it was time to leave, but no one left empty-handed. They bring home more than just photos or memories. They bring hope, strength, and boundless love. Because in that day, they have proved that despite being separated by military uniforms, their love never stops. At night, the world seemed to embrace BTS. From Jakarta to New York, from Manila to Dubai, skyscrapers display messages of love and support for BTS. In South Korea, a large screen in downtown Seoul showed footage of soldiers gathering in front of a military gate. Messages of love flooded the virtual world. All of them delivered one voice: "We are waiting for you." And in a quiet military headquarters, in a simple room, the BTS members sat together while looking at video footage and photos brought by an officer. They fell silent. Some shed tears. Jin holds Jungkook's hand. RM holding a letter from a small army from Ghana. J-Hope smiled a little as she whispered, "They really are amazing." Taeyong looked up at the ceiling and said, "What have we done to deserve this much love?" No one answered, but everyone knows that BTS has given more than just music. They have been a hope, a light, and a wound healer for millions of people around the world. That day, the world witnessed something more than just the love of fans for idols. This is a story about loyalty, about patience, and about the power of love that crosses national, linguistic, and cultural boundaries. The banners may disappear, the tears may dry up, but that infinite love will live on and will continue to burn until the day they return. Because for the army, waiting is not a burden. It is the most honest form of love. And for BTS, every step on the field of duty is for those who never stop loving. That day has become a chapter in history and will continue to be remembered as the day when the world united under one name, BTS.